I think the best thing is for churches to really go through a bit of a listening process. And I think that
Mm.
happens both inside and outside of the church walls.
Hmm.
Inside the church walls, it's really important for the congregation to just really take stock of what the Lord has put into their hands. Really take stock, really take an inventory of the assets that God has provided, the physical assets. Maybe the church has a building, maybe it has classrooms, maybe it has a kitchen,
Hmm.
maybe it has land,
Hmm.
vehicles, so physical assets, but also relational assets.
Hmm.
You know, is this a church that has strong partnerships with other churches or a particular relationship with someone in city government,
Hmm.
um, as well as, financial assets and sort of the harder to define, but sort of the things that the church has proven that it's good at.
Hmm.
So let's say that it just does a really great job of making people belong, like they've got a great
Hmm. Hmm.
assimilation process, or they're just really strong on community life. This is a church that they just can't get enough of the church potluck.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they really like each other, and that this really got those like the things that the church has kind of gotten to be good at in terms of caring for itself are
Hmm.
things that then the church might be good at in caring for their neighbors, right?
Yeah, right.
So there's all those things, and then of course the most important asset for the church to really inventory is their people.
Hmm.
Like I said, their people are scattered throughout these various community endowments or realms of civic life. And a church that really takes the time to find out who's in the pews
Hmm.
and what do they know and where do they work
Yeah.
and what is their work and what are some of the skills and talents they have and the vocational power that they have, that often will lead a church to realize, oh gosh, we really have a lot of educators here. Really have a lot of healthcare people. And that can be a clue that, okay, well, if the Lord has constituted your body and brought, a particular, sort of core group of folks that are really strong in one of these realms, well, that might be a real indicator from the Lord that that's an area to focus on.